What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, definitely continue to check us out. Monday, Tuesday, our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CSSP. Fridays, everything else. Movies, books, games, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us on 99.1 FM out in the Atlanta area, you get everything all in one dose, right? 1 hour episode. And then also check us out on the DC Fairfax Public Access Channel 10 as well. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article actually comes from a local news station up in Wisconsin, I believe is what it was, NBC26.com, and it's written by Pari Apostolakos, right? So this software company called Power School, this software Power School from a software company was used by multiple school districts across northeast Wisconsin, and they announced they had experienced a cybersecurity attack, right, on their student information system last week. So we've talked about this before, about schools and hospitals and things of that nature being soft targets when it comes to cybersecurity threats, right? So you may be asking yourself, well, why even bring this up? Why is this a big deal or anything? You know what I mean? Well, because the software company paid the ransom. Okay. What happens when you feed a stray cat or a stray dog one time, right? Not only do they come back to get more food, they bring their friends with them. Right. That's what ends up happening. Right. So they end up bringing their friends, and I can just see into the future. I feel like a prophet to where I'm like, okay, this is not over for them. So even though the software company paid the ransom, they have not confirmed it. It was just it's just the school district saying, hey, we know they paid it based off the cybersecurity breach. Right. So, but the point of this all, like I said, it's one of those things where if you pay them, you just open yourself up to them coming back and doing more harm, right? Now, mind you, with this breach, the software company said, hey, there was no PII exposed. Let me not say PII. There was no really sensitive information, right? So no social security numbers or anything of that nature, right? Like it was just like, it was names and email addresses, which is still a problem, right? Because then you open yourself up to where you start getting these phishing emails and things of that nature, right? So if you weren't already breached by one of the other weekly major breaches that happens, whether it be Verizon, Target, or whatever, right? They have something else on you that they can start getting those second and third order effects of trying to what am I trying to say? Trying to not expose people, but try to exploit. That's the word I'm looking for. Exploit people out there. But yeah, I mean, it's I've never heard of this software. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that's used in any of my children's school as well, and I'm just not aware of it. But yeah, but the fact that they got the information that they did, right? And like I said, it's name, parent, guardian, email, phone numbers, even, right? So you can even get the text, right? That's one of those things. It's just like demographics. I mean, I don't know. You could do some stuff with demographics as well, right? As a matter of fact, if you have demographics, I guess one of those things where they could send a text or an email that looks very official because they're like, hey, we know, this about you, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Well, if they know that about me, they must know who I am, right? Could be their assumption. But yeah, we got schools. I'm putting this out there to you schools, you school districts, and you hospitals, and you water treatment plants. You got to do a better job, right? This is the day and age that we're in right now, to where this is what is happening. This is how they are getting at people because you are a soft target, right? The money may not be going into. And here's the thing: I'm not blaming the school district at all, right? Like they went through another software company that they thought was doing what they needed to do, right? But here we are, to where you can't fully trust that everyone is doing everything that they advertise that they are, right? And it's a perfect example of that. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah. So the schools are becoming just as soft targets as hospitals and what have you. Like people know that, or at least the bad actors know that people don't want this information to school, especially the kids' information, right? Like to dox a kid and have their grades and maybe their behavioral patterns and issues and things of that nature out there, and that of their teachers just kind of vile. You know what I mean? Like I don't get why I get why they'd be a target because it seems as though crime does pay and they will be paid. But I don't get the ethics there. Like to steal the information and then say, okay, we'll take your money, but we won't sell the information. Like it's not trustworthy. If they were to target children to begin with, then they, there's no honor amongst these thieves, in my opinion. But I don't know. They keep getting paid, so there's something there. But I didn't know much about Power School either. But then when you go to their page, so they've been around for 30 years, right? So they're not a slouch. They've been in the industry for a while. They were established in 1997. They were acquired by Apple in 2001, and then they were, I guess, at some point either Apple sold them or what have you. But in 2006, they were acquired by Pearson. So Pearson is obviously we know about them through all of
The
the
testing
certification
for
testing and things that
certifications.
we do. Yeah, so piercing testing centers and things of that nature. But they're definitely no slouch. So for them to pay though just seems like a real bad move on their part. Like A, like you said, you fed a stray cat, so they'll be back. But B, you're a pretty big name, so you don't really want that out there that you pay ransoms. I don't think that'd be good for your shareholders and things of that nature of whomever is your parent company. But I digress. Hopefully, they did plug the hole because it says that they made sure that the bad actors were unable to continue to get more information, and that they will let the teachers and parents know when and if their information was compromised and if it's been disclosed and things of that nature.
See, and you brought up something else, man, that I didn't even think about, but I'm like, yeah, it's a good point because we talked about it before. Is one of those things like having, children's behavioral information that could be something that you could blackmail somebody for, right? Like, what's to say that uh, somebody in the Wisconsin, state Congress, doesn't have a child that goes to one of these schools or something like that, right? And then they're like, hey, we know your kid is out here eating boogers and biting kids or something like that. Do you want that out
Right.
for the fastest? Like, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know, like whatever it may be, right? Or he's touching the teachers inappropriately or something.
Right, or Little Johnny's an arsonist.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's
Right.
starting fires on the playground or something. But yeah, that's that type of stuff that can be put out there, and it's just you don't want it out. And we talked about it before when it was Congress that got hacked, right? But it was to them specifically, right? But it was information that they may not have wanted out. But yeah, you bring up a good point in that. I didn't even think about that, about it being a blackmail thing for somebody that may be in a position of power, right? So
Yeah, it's a multitude of bad ways this can go, and it's just unfortunate that they paid them. Like, I wish they had gone to the federal government or something to help, stop that, so that way they wouldn't have to pay the ransom, but B, they could, who's to say they still won't catch them? Because we've seen the Department of Justice and what have you has ways of tracing cryptocurrencies and things of that nature. So like they might still get them, but I don't know. I just think it's a bad look. So more will be disclosed. We'll find out more about it. And uh, you said they're only out, or no, you didn't say they're only out in Wisconsin. Every time you say Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin. Call them by their real name, Wisconsin. So what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's only going to affect Wisconsin because this software it's pretty prolific, right? It's in lots of different school districts. So this one I've been hit, but then hopefully they've figured out what was the vector that the bad actor was able to use, that they're able to patch the rest of them used, potentially around the globe, because they are in the hands of Apple and Pearson and things of that nature. So who's to say how prolific the software is, um, and if this threat vector has been sealed or closed or mitigated in some way. So I don't
and
know.
and it makes them take a harder look at other things, right? Like while they're in there patching that, they're like, all right, let's do a deep dive here and make sure there's not something else they can get us on, right? And hopefully, my hope is always it's not something that's just like a well known vulnerability that's been put out there that they just didn't patch, right? Like they
Yeah,
didn't take the time to do. Like if it's a 0 day or something like that, like with 0 days, I'm willing to be more I don't want to say more lenient, but I'm more understanding, right, of a 0 day. It's like, yeah, okay, nobody knew it. It's whatever. Unless it was told to you, right? Unless one of these think tanks out here was like, hey, we notified you 90 days ago, you still didn't patch it, and then you got hit with it. Then
yeah.
I got a problem. But yeah, if it's a CVE that starts with 2023 or something like that, I'm like, hey
Right.
man,
Then now
what is
there's
going on?
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on here, man?
Yeah. So hopefully more will be disclosed on this side, right? So we can talk about it, we can do research, forensics, things of that nature, as opposed to like only the bad guys know about it now and they got paid. So, but definitely continue to check us out throughout the week. Again, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Hit us up by the website to go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. Get me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much everywhere, but LinkedIn is where I'm most active. And then, yeah, hit us up. Stay safe, stay secure.